Hi, welcome to Stephanie Townsend Awakenings. I'm Stephanie Townsend, and I just wanted to do a quick intro. I want to share with you an audio of a BQH session that I did with my good friend Hong. We've been working together for the past 2.5 years, and Hong is a very talented BQH and QHHT practitioner, along with being a channel, and she is a wonderful healer. So I was looking forward to this session, and the session happened on February 6, 2020. Our last session together was in 2016. So this was a very unique experience for me. And the audio you'll hear is actually right as the higher self comes through. There was one lifetime that I shared, and it was okay, but it was pretty standard. So I decided that the most important part was this audio of this, of my higher self. So I really hope that you get as much enjoyment out of this. I have no expectations. And I want to tell you just a little bit about the um, unique session that we had. The first part of the session, you'll hear I mention energy running through my jaw. And this energy was actually, I could feel all along my jaw. It wasn't painful at all. It was like a humming, but I could physically feel the vibration. And it caused me to stutter quite a bit. The energy was coming through, and it was as if the words were being pushed out on my breath. So there's a lot of S and F noises in the beginning as I come through with the channeling. You'll also hear a segment where they actually say that they need to come closer to me so that there's better communication. And as I listen to this specifically, I feel like they were adjusting my vibration or theirs and coming a little closer so that I could understand them and it wasn't as much lacking information. Not as many pauses, I would say, in the information. So how was this different? This was different for me in that we were able to contact many different beings, significant to both Hong and myself. We were told that Hong's group that she works with, that are her kind of teachers and supporters, were around her, and also my group, and that it was a conglomeration. And it also fit into the work that Hong and I are both doing as far as Hong becoming a channeler. She has been, over the past 2.5 years, growing and growing as a channel and working physically in her body as higher and higher frequencies are able to come through her body. So there's a I would say, sequence of events that she's allowed to happen. And I've been really happy to be able to share the journey with her. So the other reason that this is very unique is that we were getting answers for Hong that she wanted, but also for myself. The main questions that I was asking was, there was a moment where there was a time lag. I wasn't, for myself, it wasn't like lost time as much as finding myself in a different place where I was just a moment before and wondering how that had happened. There was a connection to a mantis being that I have that I know through other channelings, and other beings had kind of pointed me in that direction. So I wanted contact with that being, and that being came through. There's questions about Hong and I working together with the hybrid children and what that's going to be like. We've had a lot of information about that through Hong's channelings. So we had a question there, and in particular, very special moment where a very, very special hybrid child came through specifically for Hong to give her support and answer some questions for her. Hong had had a specific dream about this individual years ago that is just still makes her very emotional. So this was really wonderful to be able to share this with Hong. And there was also a being that I've been aware of that is in a ship nearby that is connected to me. So I had questions about that. And also a higher, I would say, focused light energy above my head in my higher chakra. And I had questions about that. So a lot of this information was very surprising. The directness of the individuals coming through and being able to talk to different individuals and consciousnesses was very unique for both Hong and I. So I know that we're going to continue to work together, and I just was very excited about this. So please enjoy this, and know that I have no expectations. I'm just putting this out into the universe because I know it's going to help people that do find it. So please enjoy it, and leave comments if you wish. But the main purpose is to just release this into the universe and support those that are following a similar journey.
Thank you so much. So firstly, I'd love to ask the higher self to give your perspective of what that life that we just viewed was all about and how is it connected to Stephanie.
Compilation of aspects or consideration in her life,
Mm-hmm.
bringing forth truthful, no, no, knowings
Mm.
or her consideration or time does not exist in realities, or there's unknown aspects within her being that she shall know more of, is interested. This is for her knowing
Mm-hmm.
all she is in all aspects, where there's never one only.
Mm.
We wish for her to see that there's many forms and accept this in her heart, for there will be outcomes of variance in her knowing state. We wish for her to see that all are within her aspects,
Mm-hmm.
choosing to know oneself is for the greatest good, and releasing perceptions to clarify, we would say that she needs to know that she has many forms and dimensional existences formed. There's much equilateral forms shown to her in vision. She has sensed this or more truthfully since the we wish to come closer for better communication. Sensing resistances in communication, trying to sense her form. We wish to release the unknowing state that lays surrounding her form so that she can see more clearly aspects, relations, and causal relations to truthful existences in others, in other binary, focused on what she can sense if she allows. We would like this to flow smoothly through her art and in channeling sessions, allowing greater communication for all aspects of her to bring to union thoughts and experiences shared through this knowing. We would ask her to allow more time for interaction, adjusting small pieces of information that will be given. This is from her choosing to allow. What would you ask now?
So, thank you for that. I would like to invite you to co create in this conversation because while we have some questions to ask, we understand that there's a lot going on at the moment and a lot going on for Stephanie. And so, I would like to invite you to take the lead in the conversation and speak about the things that are most relevant and important for Stephanie at this time. So, firstly, you mentioned wanting to get closer to her and being able to communicate with her better. Can you speak more about that and perhaps talk about what is holding her back?
We feel she has grown in many aspects, but resists our intermingling in communications. At twilight, at times, she will allow us to come through. A greater opening of her inner knowing will become evident sooner.
Hmm.
She has started awakening. This is a process. Her body's electrical system is being stimulated, and often there are blockages in her higher aspect that connects to her source being.
Hmm.
We would suggest she allow more relaxation, meditation, choosing to connect, and these pathways will flow without as much resistance. It's important to choose consciously to connect in the session where there will be increased amplitude of information shared. If she can choose consciously to move towards this and allow for information sharing, the data information will be more will be given.
Hmm.
She has to choose to focus. Our connection is rarely unauthentic. Trusting in what comes is important for the flow. Writing is important for allowing the continued energies. Suggest this format for keeping open the flow gates till she eventually will not need as much of this to format the information
Hmm.
that is given. Sharing is important as it allows other aspects of herself to be influenced and broadened and allowing other avenues of creation. This is important from her heart's aspect to share. I would suggest these things.
Okay. So the writing, the sharing, when you say sharing, is there a format that is most beneficial for her to share?
Her choosing from her heart would be most appropriate. Written format and artwork. Colors important.
Mm,
Setting tone and vibration.
yeah.
Now, but more than ever. First, she has to allow consistency in her allowance of material to flow through her. There's many aspects, many channels of information coming through her that she needs to open for this to be of greatest importance.
Hmm.
Form is less important than consistent effort and choosing connections. To stop hesitating
Yeah.
and follow her heart. This will allow what is needed for her inspiration.
Mm,
It is common that now is never looked upon and waiting for more, less expectation and more allowance of all opportunity is needed. Choose just to allow without expected outcomes, or it's just an illusion anyway. It is about the energy moving that is the most important at this time. Allow
yeah.
will be given. That is all.
Thank you for that. I wanted to go back to what you said about, um, I think it was electric or nerves. And um, can you speak more about that? The energies coming through, the creativity and DNA changes within our body. Tell, can you speak more about how that all works and what's happening right now for many people? Because I've noticed many people are experiencing neurological symptoms that are not related to any condition that we know of. Is there a connection there?
First, there's the energy forming paths in the body, energy creating growth of neurological tissues in the body that can change the paths. The DNA is changing, and the paths before that happens, sensations of electrical charges in the body can be felt first. This is needed for the coming structural changes of the needed change that will occur. Discomfort in certain body parts can be more felt when activity is at highest levels. Muscle cramping and burning sensations often occur in areas of higher activities. These changes are temporarily experienced, for this is a phase of the changes to occur for them to be pronounced is for temporarily focused energies in that area. There can be more done in smaller amounts of what is called time for you when there can be accelerated experience of this kind. We would wish that you would know that there is nothing wrong with these sensations, but to consider the overall outcome is positively formatted for your body's greatest good, and sensations will cease when there can be better adaptation of tissue within the body's fields of energy. Can you relate to this personally? We would ask.
Yes, and it makes a lot of sense. So, um, since you asked on a personal level, I'd like to ask permission if I can ask. For me, when it gets to the point where it is intense pain, is it something I'm not doing? Is it too much? Can I ask for less at this time? What can I do to make the process more comfortable?
First, no. Freedom, freedom of freedom of the energies is released within you. It is often that you do resist, and it is not conscious that this formatting takes place, but in an energetic level within your shell body energy formats that we see, there can be changes for you. Allowance comes from adjusting of these energies it can be intense, or there is an expectation of rapid changes that cannot occur if you do not allow for the changes to proceed in sequences offered. We would suggest you bring your concentration to these areas and envelop them with what you would call white light, and envision them flowing, for it's important to bring the consciousness to the process. Please allow for your mind to co envelop this process, for there is much benefit in doing so. We will allow for questions.
Okay, so there's a lot going through my mind in regards to that. Um, so I keep hearing allowing and allowing, and so where I get a little bit confused is I believe I'm allowing of the process. Um, and in fact, when I am in the most state of allowing, I feel like more comes, not less. And so that causes a lot of confusion in me.
We understand your query and would say one moment.
Take your time.
First, consider the emphasis on allowing. First, consider what you seek in allowing. First, consider the assumption that you would like this is a first allow for the emphasis of the energy to come through, envisioning, controlling your flow is important. This is not just happening to you, but by you, with these moments where you feel intensities. It is a partnership with your higher self and higher knowing that allows for this to occur. We wish to emphasize your participation. You are not just having things proceeding without your knowing
Mm.
on certain levels. Connection with that higher aspect of self will be considerable factor in better understanding this process as you grow as a being in your time space continuum. This can be accelerated by your matting the knowing of your higher self. Your body is an intelligence of its own.
Mm.
Communication with this entity is important in the process. As you develop skills to know how to control this, and you will, this will be highly beneficial. Allow for this in future time to be shown to you. This will be a awakening within itself,
Mhm.
within the awakening.
Yeah.
This can be caused by fatigue, by giving, forgiving yourself, forgiving aspects of emotional tension within your psychological being. This is in the process, and you have shown great, great, great variations of progress within yourself. Forgive yourself is an important aspect, and letting go of other beings around you's emotional attachment and structures that you form, that you format. Please allow for your healing first. Heart and center focuses will continually improve your interaction with energies coming through to you. We would wish you to allow for the greatest. Didn't know she wanted to interrupt.
Who's interrupting?
Is being here. She wanted to say something on top of our explanation.
Mhm.
Heart knowing, heart forgiving,
Mhm.
heart centered existence is very important in this time for you. This is the pain that you have been feeling and releasing in past moments. Please allow for this expansion. It is the core of all that you will proceed through. It is the doorway which you will walk through, in which your cognitive mind will follow in steps. Feel foremost the beginning of your existence in moments of now. This will attend to your hopeful progress. We wish to encourage you to move farther than you may feel comfortable in this respect.
Mm-hmm.
Allow for this to occur, and you will be shown more of your abilities that are waiting to open at the edges of your being. We wish to encourage you to access these aspects. You have shown much growth in your cognitive understanding of the processes. Now it is beyond the cognitive, and it is heart based that you will find your answers. It is important for you to focus on your heart aspects in the processes. Ask more.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. I am going to take that on board because I feel it strongly. I would like to ask at this point, because I sense there are more beings here that I'm speaking with. Will you be able to tell us who is here, who it is that I'm speaking with? Who do you represent at this
We
moment?
represent all of you in our aspects of higher being.
Mm,
It's more than just you.
mm,
It's for all involved in this process, encouraging and explanation of importance to both you and her. It
mhm,
can be shared between you two, the growth that will occur in future times.
mm,
This is a interphasing of multiple aspects of both selves in accordance to allowance that
mm,
this has come through. We would encourage you to understand that there's much more going on here, that there is much focus on what will occur in future times for both you and her. We
mm,
would wish you to allow for a greater knowing of connection between the two beings.
mm.
There's overlapping explanations, overlapping
Yeah,
existences, questions.
yes. So I want to bring this conversation back to helping Stephanie move forward in her process, and whenever is appropriate, I'd love that you can tie it into my connection with Stephanie. But Stephanie's been having a lot more interactions, a lot more memories, a lot more dreams about different beings. Can you speak more about them so that she can understand how she can best use that information to move forward? So I'm going to go through some of the things that she's mentioned, but at any time, if you want to interject any other information, please do. So the connection with the being in the spaceship.
Connecting, one moment. She is an aspect of my being. We're here together in unison. She doesn't know me.
Mhm.
she has asked about me.
Mm.
We're here to share some time frame aspects of history. It's to be unveiled in future moments. Why does this seem to matter to her now is interesting.
Mhm.
Her heart is beginning to open to other aspects of herself, of which I am one. There is a connection between the two. It has to do also with the higher star aspect above her, which helps us communicate to, to her
Mhm.
and overshadowing, overseeing the flow of her lifetime experience. We wish her to know that she is one of us and that we care for her, though our interactions will be limited. It is an overseeing aspect of guidance
Mhm.
that will assist her on her path.
Yeah. Is it
What a
relevant to identify who you are, which being you are at this time?
There's an aspect of ego that lingers at the edges of these questions for her.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
is aware of this.
Yep.
It is the lack of her feeling sufficient that she would need to know and seek more.
Mm.
As it's important, we'll reveal to her,
Mhm.
but we do not wish to overlap, over proceed her presence and knowing of herself.
Yeah.
This will unfold in accordance to her development and as it needed.
Mm. Thank you. That's wonderful. Okay. She recently had an experience where she felt like she lost some time. Can you give her more information about what actually happened? What was that about?
The knowing of this experience is one that she has allowed for by presenting herself in a particular time, space, and willingness to proceed with her own consciousness evolution.
Hmm.
The knowing of the specifics has to gradually be seated within her and revealed as she will herself allow. We can say there was contact and that this was an awakening experience that would shock her system to know that experience had occurred in certain time frames.
Hmm.
This is necessary for her to begin to examine on her own this experience. It was one of her conscious knowing at the time it occurred, and she has shut the door to this temporarily so that her inner self can develop more to understand and not misperceive the proceedings that occurred. This is not unusual. This will be
Mm-hmm.
given to her in the time that is most appropriate for her and the greatest understanding of the events. She will look forward to the understanding of this. At this time, we will not say more of
Mm-hmm.
any particular aspect of the experience that she will know in future time.
Yeah.
Allowing is important
Okay.
for this to occur.
Yeah. Is this a sign that there will be more remembering on her part in the future of such experiences?
Yes.
Mm.
Soon she will understand much of what this is about. The connection
Mhm.
is in pieces, and she will place them in her conscious mind and be able to recall this and more. It is all her knowing to release certain aspects of blocks that will slide sooner than later for this to occur. Please allow for this in future conversations to bring out even more information.
Mm.
Allow for this guidance to naturally occur.
Yeah.
It will be done for her.
Wonderful. That's really exciting. Can you tell us more about the mantis being in her life?
The mantis being is for most of the important being for her to contact on a spiritual mental levels. She has knowledge that will be partially unlocked in future, or they are connected in many aspects, heart based being, heart based heart based connections to this being is for the the now or the now important part. It will be given to her. She is close to understanding their connections.
Mm.
He is here
Mhm.
with her forever in her space and guides, connects, and facilitates many of her connections, so called serendipitous connections, guiding information to her. There is many lifetimes of connection with this being. He is so joyful that she is acknowledging his existence. There's going to be a coming together of sorts for her and this being in future times, in dreams, in recognizing the past history of their existence together. They will share many stories and many conversations. It will be given to her in dream format, and she will remember these contact contact stories that they shared. He is willing to give her gifts of these memories, for she has requested them for much time and needs to facilitate this in her progress, for there will be other connections through this first step. Please allow for this is in her heart, knowing he shares much love with her and connects to her often. Their relationships and past time moments have preceded eons. There's going to be a credible sighting of this being with her consciousness in coming days and weeks. We would say that she is prepared at this moment for these connections. It will not cause disturbance in her emotional field. She will feel the love of centuries between them, and this will be the bonding of herself with her higher self aspect that has gifted her this experience tonight. There is much for her to understand in future days, and this will be given to her in just gentle ways that suit her purpose and knowledge and educational framework that has been set for her. She knows that she is in good hands and will allow for these occurrences. There is going to be much joy in her life in future months, that these understandings come to her in great abundance, and through her heart chakra she will open in tremendous format, for there is much to come for her and others around her, including you, we would say.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am so joyful for her at this moment. So just to give us both
Thank you.
a little moment, I was going to ask if he had a message for her, but I would also like to ask if at this time we could give Stephanie's body some healing, as she's going to need to be, um, absolutely in top condition within her physical body, her emotional body, and spiritual body for the things
We're
that are to come.
working for her.
Wonderful. And if there's anything that you find that you would like to speak to us about as you're working on her, we would really appreciate you share that with us. And so, is there anything that the mantis being, any message that he has for Stephanie?
Great. Acknowledging of her progress, is proud of her allowing us to present the material tonight. This is progress in her energetic aspects. It is going to be making differences for her, making differences for this time.
Mm.
We share much love greater than words. We give you our gifts of prideful thoughts in this moment, thanking you for allowing this to happen, thanking you for connecting her to me. This is my greatest wish is to share thoughts, patterns, and expressions with her in the greater knowing of our connections. We share so much impossible to express in the now. It's our thanks that we share with you. We love you so, so, so great is this emotion we give you. Both thank you, thank you, thank you in our heart to your hearts. Thanking you is little in the little feelings that surround you as beings. Please absorb all you can in knowing this. Thank you is what is in my heart. Thank you is what is surrounding me in this moment between us. We are so pleased this occurrence can exist. We are so pleased that we can communicate our love to you through her body, through your fields. This is a special moment for us in sharing this time.
Thank you.
It shows us that you are so special to so many that you can develop this skill and energy can flow in this way. You have assisted greatly in this moment. Do not, do not overlook this. Do not make it small. It is greater than you understand. It is greater than your mind will be able to process. Allow for this to come to you in days and future moments as you listen and feel these emotions. So it will bring you back to this energy format that you share in the moment. We are glad for you that you allowed for your growth, and we will share in your joy each time you listen to our connection with you. We will be there for both of you. You have shared much of yourself with many aspects of yourself in these moments. This is important for both of you. You can be proud of this in many aspects of yourself, are watching you grow and are so pleased that you have chosen your path. You have shown much gratitude, much allowance, and much appreciation of the gifts that will be given you. You can be sure that we all are here to share in your joy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't have done this without all of you and without Stephanie. And I really look forward to all that is to come.
We
Yeah.
also share in this awaiting anticipation in your progress. We are joyful.
Yes. And so, as I am mindful of the time, I want to leave it up to you to speak about whichever topic is relevant to Stephanie. She's asked about the light above her head. She's also asked about the dream, about the beetles that she had. And also, I'm going to stick this in, but hybrid children and her connections with that aspect. So I'd like to ask that you choose whichever is relevant. And I know this is not going to be our only conversation, so anything else that we have time for, that's great. If not, there'll be a next time.
We're quiet on much of this. It is your choosing. We are completing some healing processes on her body.
Mm-hmm.
We have time for a bit more communication.
Okay.
The hybrid children wish to thank you for your acknowledgement of their existence in exciting formats. They are here with you now, sharing and blessing this experience. They greatly anticipate knowing you in a more formal manner. Can be this can be seen by us in future aspects. It will be allowed.
Oh, please tell them to come, come, come. We are. Well, I am so excited about meeting them, and we have
There's
so
a
much fun.
particular child that wishes to come through for you. There is a particular child that you have met. He is here now, sharing his love for you. He wishes to thank you for your acknowledgement of him. He sends you great love and remembers your meeting. There is much he would love to tell you, and he wishes to see, he wishes to be in your dreams, to share more with you, for he is always close to you in his heart. He thanks you.
Do I remember this meeting? Is this
Yes,
is this
yes,
the dream meeting that I'm
yes,
thinking of?
yes. He remembers the embrace and the love between you. He shares his heart with you now, sharing his essence with you. He is always so fond of visitating in mental aspects, sharing with you. He sees your life. He watches and acknowledges you with your family and your home spaces. He shares love with you many times in great sad times you have had in your hearts. He wants you to know he is with you and shares great love in these moments. You are never alone. He is sharing his life now with your life now. His calling is for you to know these things and remember your connection. This will be an opening door for you for other children to communicate with you through him, through this first experience. This was a grand opening for you.
Yes.
This was a beginning for you. He is proud to be the beginning aspect of your consciousness awakening to him and his existence. He wonders what you wish to ask him now.
Um, well, the thing that jumps out the most is that when I saw him in my dreams, he was no longer a little child anymore. So it caused a bit of confusion. And I didn't recognize it immediately as a hybrid child. So can you
His,
speak about that?
his presentation to you was an aspect of him that is ongoing. This
Mm,
is growth. He could project future aspect of self to be more appropriate to interact with you.
mhm,
This is possible for our beings. It is if they know full well the future, past, child, adult time frame of their personal biological being. He, in truth, was a bit younger, but wanted to present a size frame interaction that would be best suited for you.
mm.
This was a gift that he wished to give you. He is now actually a bit older.
Will I see him in person? Will he be part of one of the groups that will meet us here on Earth?
This is a possibility. It is actually greater than more other possibilities. It will be a great
Mm,
allowing for this to occur. We wish, one moment, he wishes to state that he wants this to occur, and it now seems so distant, but it is closer than you would expect.
mm,
Allow for interconnection of thoughts and dreams in future. This will set up the process.
yeah,
This will allow for the next continuation of the growth, we would say.
yeah,
It's all in good hands. Do not worry. Do not fret. Do not try to understand too much of this.
mm, yeah,
Allow it. It will be done for you and him.
yeah. If it's appropriate, what is my connection? What is my role in the arrival of the hybrid children or their existence? Or um, because I don't consciously think about
This
the
does not,
idea of hybrid children. However, I sense strongly I am connected with them and what's going to happen. So, what is my role if it's appropriate in all this?
we would say that there is much to be unveiled to you.
Hmm.
The children, one moment, The children, as a consciousness, are aware of many beings, and you are highlighted within their focus. This is due to your personal connections and spiritual development. This will allow you to cause, to interact prior to many in certain aspects. First, the communication is most important. Focus on this allowance of communication through your personal process, as this will occur first. The other is farther away.
Mm.
First, communication, voice, and energy connections are most important for understanding them.
Yeah.
The rest will be given later. Allow for this.
Okay.
She is getting tired. We
Mhm.
wish to continue it another time. We have completed our energetic evaluation of her body. This has been done, and improvements in certain areas have been shared with her. She wished to focus on some aspects of lower back and spine, energetic, sacrum, lower lumbar. We focused on this. This is an improvement for her. She will feel also the Kundalini's energies will be expressed in greater format for her with ease. This will be allowed. We thank you for this time in sharing. There will be more to come. We encourage you to facilitate this in future times. This is a unique experience for both you and she. There will be time for you to process much of this data and much of the energy formatting that have been given to both of you through this experience. We will conclude now. We thank you with greatest heart, and we wish for you to have what you say, a pleasant day. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.